Two pirates corner Tatsuya on the deck. Their shadows stretch like threats, his stays still. They mock his useless class.
Shadow, make them stop.
His shadow twitched, then lunged, a claw of darkness seizing the nearest pirate's silhouette. The pirate's shadow peeled away, pulled deep into Tatsuya's own. His life force tore with it. The pirate collapsed, eyes vacant, mouth agape, his shadow gone. Every skill and secret stolen.
That wasn't imitation. It was devouring. I swallowed him whole.
The second pirate backed away, terror replacing bravado. He stared at the hollow shell of his crewmate, but Tatsuya barely heard. His mind flooded. A fishing village, a first kiss, a knife fight. Stolen lives.
I know 6 knots and his sister's name. This isn't right.
His shadow no longer mimicked. It hungered, and deep within, a part of Tatsuya thrilled at the feast. The second pirate turned to flee, his voice cracking into a desperate shout. But Tatsuya's shadow was already reaching, a predator tasting panic. It struck before the man took 3 steps, sinking into his silhouette like jaws into prey. The pirate convulsed, then crumpled. His shadow wrenched free and vanished into Tatsuya's own.
Another life poured in. A route through the calm belt. A lover's betrayal. A buried treasure's coordinates. This is worse than killing. I am stealing who they were.
Yet, beneath the revulsion, a dark satisfaction pulsed. 2 seasoned pirates' skills now coiled in his muscles. He dragged the bodies below, hiding them from his crew. The shadows had not just died. They had been erased.
From now on, only the dead. I won't take a living shadow again. I can't.
But his shadow flexed on the planks, tendrils twitching with a hunger that had tasted live prey and craved more. Days later, Tatsuya scaled the rigging with a sailor's instinct he'd never earned. The crew watched, mouths open. A crewmate squinted at him, suspicion hardening his jaw. The boy who never rigged sails now moved like a veteran.
These hands remember a man I never met. Every skill is a theft.
The stolen lives leaked into everything. He knew the name of a dead man's lover when a crewmate spoke in passing. Weeks later, during a skirmish, Tatsuya hung back. While swords clashed, his eyes tracked the fallen.
Only the dead. I can take from them and give them some peace by carrying their secrets.
He knelt beside a corpse as the fighting moved on. Its shadow lay fading on the deck.
Just a taste. No, I said a line. I won't cross it until the soul is gone.
But his shadow pulsed, a second heartbeat, straining toward the dying silhouette. He pulled back, but the hunger coiled tighter. He would wait. The dead would come. In a back alley, Tatsuya knelt by a dead pirate, his shadow stretching forward with hungry tendrils. It fed on the fading silhouette, pulling the last residue of skills into its dark core.
Another life. I carry a navigator's charts now, and a lullaby that isn't mine. It never leaves me.
On a distant beach, marine investigator Sakura crouched over a corpse. Its shadow was gone. No memory remained, as if the man's expertise had been drained, leaving only an empty husk. She pinned the case on her map. 2 other bodies had surfaced with identical symptoms.
Every raid has one common thread. Tatsuya, the one berry shadow pirate. He's present at every scene.
She visited a 3rd crime scene. Again, a pirate's shadow had been consumed, skills erased.
I'll track you, Tatsuya. Your shadow secret will be exposed, and I'll be there to pull the trigger.
But Tatsuya sailed on, his shadow twitching under the sun, unaware of the hunter's sights settling on him. Sakura watched from the shadows as Tatsuya slipped through the port town, his shadow twitching with an irregular rhythm. She tailed him for hours, staying just out of reach. He never once looked back. At dusk, he knelt beside a fresh corpse in an alley, his shadow reaching for the fading silhouette.
Don't move, Tatsuya. I've seen enough. Step away from the corpse. 3 corpses, all shadow drained. You were at every single scene. Explain yourself.
You think a shadow class can drain skills? That's impossible.
Then why does your shadow writhe like a starving thing? I saw it reach for that corpse.
She's seen too much. Fine. It devours shadows, but only the dead. I draw the line there.
Tatsuya's confession hung between them like a blade. Sakura's handcuffs stayed at her side, but her eyes didn't soften. Sakura pulled out crime scene photos, shadows missing from every corpse. Her voice cut through the alley's silence.
A serial killer is draining living pirates. His shadow leaves no trace. I need your stolen memories to profile him.
You want me to dig through a killer's stolen thoughts? To carry that filth inside me? She's asking me to become a medium for a monster. To let his memories mix with mine.
Against his will, a buried memory surfaced. A dark figure wreathed in shadow, a blade coated in another's silhouette.
The killer. He's searching for other shadow eaters. He's like me, but he devours the living. And he knows there are more. His shadow isn't just one victim. It's a patchwork of consumed lives. This man collects souls.
Then you can track him. Help me catch him, and I'll forget your little secret. For now.
The deal was struck without a handshake. His freedom and her silence traded for a hunt neither believed they'd survive.
I am allied with a Marine. But if that killer knows about shadow eaters, he might already be hunting me too.
In a cramped room, Tatsuya forced his mind back into the killer's shadow. Fragments erupted, screams, a blood-slick deck, a young pirate's silhouette torn apart.
He savored it. The killer laughed as another man's skills bled into him. I can feel that same sick pleasure.
He doubled over, heaving. The echo of a kill he never committed coated his insides.
Did you see a location? Anything we can use?
A fortress on a coast, overgrown by jungle. He hides there between kills. The killer calls it his garden of shells.
They spread a naval chart. Sakura's finger stabbed a forgotten island marked only by a skull. No marine patrols, no law. By dawn, they stole a small boat and pushed into foggy waters. Tatsuya's shadow clung to the hull like a leech.
His thoughts are bleeding into mine. Every hour, I lose a piece of my own disgust.
Don't let him in. Use his memories. Don't become them. I need you focused when we land.
The island rose from the mist, its shore littered with wrecked ships. Tatsuya's shadows stretched, tasting the air for a prey it half recognized. They beached the boat and approached the crumbling fortress, its windows like empty eye sockets. Inside, a fresh corpse lay, its shadow completely stripped. The killer had fed recently.
This is less than an hour old. The bastard knows we're here.
I need a complete memory. This is my only chance. My rule be damned.
He knelt, and his shadow lunged before he could stop it, drinking the dead man's last residue. The kill rushed in. The killer's face, his savage joy, and a memory of a silver-haired man watching.
But behind the killer's eyes, another presence watched. A silver-haired man, cold and patient, his shadow fathomless.
What did you see, Tatsuya? Your eyes went completely black, like your soul drained out.
The killer is a pawn. There's an older shadow eater, a mentor. He's been directing the slaughter.
The vision lingered, the silver-haired man's shadow reaching out, swallowing a pirate whole, and the killer begging to be his successor. The after-image seared Tatsuya's mind. The killer was a collector, but his master was an executioner.
That silver-haired man's shadow wasn't just feeding, it was thriving on centuries of stolen lives. Layers upon layers.
An original shadow eater, then? How did something that dangerous stay hidden from marine intelligence?
They searched the killer's quarters. Behind a false stone, Sakura found a journal bound in human leather. The pages detailed a lineage. The first hunger, an eater who predates all records, consuming his successors to remain eternal.
The killer wasn't born a shadow eater. His power was a parasite, gifted by the Elder, then used as a hunting dog. He was searching for other shadow eaters to prove himself worthy, to become the next vessel, But the Elder kept him on a leash.
A monster wearing a human mask. To infiltrate the Marines, he'd need rank, trust. He could be anyone.
Tatsuya's shadow recoiled from the book. The hunger inside him recognized a predator far above in the food chain.
We're not hunting anymore. I am being hunted. And the old man has been playing this game for centuries before I drew my first breath.
They sailed back through the fog, the journal heavy in Sakura's coat. Tatsuya's shadow stretched against the hull, restless as a caged thing.
We need someone who studies rare abilities. My mentor, Akira, he spent decades cataloging pirate powers. He'll know how to track this elder.
A Marine mentor? Someone that knowledgeable must have clearance, resources. And you trust him completely?
I'd stake my badge on him. Silver-haired, calm, but sees through any lie. He taught me half of what I know about investigation.
The phrase, silver-haired, landed like a cold blade. Tatsuya's shadow twitched, then stilled, as if holding its breath.
Silver hair, the same as in the memory. But that could be anyone. Stay calm. Don't let her see the fear. Then let's meet him. If he's as good as you say, he'll help us track this elder. I'll trust your judgment. For now.
Sakura sent a dispatch to Akira. The appointment was set for the next morning at Marine headquarters.
Walking into the heart of the Marines with a secret like mine. If Akira is the elder, I am a lamb asking the wolf for shelter.
His shadow pulsed once, a silent warning, then settled into a tight coil at his feet. Tomorrow would test everything. Marine headquarters loomed. Sakura led Tatsuya into a sunlit office where Akira stood, silver hair immaculate, smile warm.
So you are Tatsuya. Sakura speaks highly of your unorthodox talents. Tell me, how does your shadow feel today?
It obeys, nothing more. I heard you catalog abilities. Maybe you can explain why shadows sometimes hunger.
Akira's shadow remained unnaturally still, a frozen pool, while Tatsuya's writhed faintly at the edge.
Hunger is a dangerous metaphor. But tell me, have you ever met another whose shadow could consume? It would be a fascinating specimen.
He's testing me. That specimen line was a probe. His shadow isn't normal, it's hiding.
The meeting ended with formal pleasantries. Outside, Tatsuya grabbed Sakura's arm, his voice low.
Akira is the original. He matches the memory. Silver hair, predatory calm, shadow too still. He's the elder.
You are paranoid. Akira's shadow is normal. He's been my mentor for years. You just want a villain to fight.
Tatsuya didn't press further. But that night, his shadow didn't coil. It strained toward Marine headquarters, tasting a familiar dread. Under darkness, Tatsuya slipped into Akira's private study. The air tasted of old secrets.
Portrait of young Akira, silver hair, kind eyes. Dated 40 years, yet he hasn't aged.
Hidden compartment held a log. The first hunger. Sketch of a monstrous shadow consuming a man. The text described an eater transferring his essence into successors to remain eternal. Silver hair, a mark. A step. Tatsuya hid as Akira entered, holding a similar file. His shadow was unnaturally still. Then Akira's shadow peeled from his feet and slithered toward the wall, coiling like a predatory snake.
It's not attached. The shadow is a separate creature. That's the elder, no doubt.
He waited until Akira left, then pocketed the log. Proof in hand, but revealing it meant war.
Sakura won't listen. I'll have to force a confrontation where she can witness him herself.
Back in his quarters, his shadow etched one word onto the floor. Soon. The hunger had become a pact. At dawn, Tatsuya returned to the study with the stolen log. Akira rose from a dark corner, clapping slowly.
You stopped sneaking. The log, yes, clever boy. I expected this the moment your shadow touched mine.
You are the original. 40 years unchanged, feeding on successors to stay whole. Admit it.
I am the first hunger. Every shadow I swallow holds this body together. Without fresh eaters, I become a screaming residue, 1,000 souls crammed into one fading shape.
His shadow swelled, no longer hiding, a pool of ink with 1,000 faint faces trapped beneath the surface.
Join me. Devour one living shadow a year, and your skills will eclipse every pirate in the sea. Refuse, and I'll take your clean shadow now. It will nourish me for a decade.
I'd rot as a residue before becoming your puppet. You are a parasite in a human coat.
Then you'll still serve me. Your clean shadow will strengthen me, whether you consent or not.
I've been his prey since my first taste. Now I'll become his hunter, or die, making him regret it.
The two shadows faced each other like opposing storms. The Elder's millennia against Tatsuya's few desperate months. Sakura pressed against the corridor wall, hearing Akira's cold confession through the door.
Let him go, Akira. I heard everything. The killer, the Elder, it was you, all along.
His shadow isn't human. Look, it writhes on its own. He's the first hunger.
Sakura, you've been a fine student. Step aside. This boy's shadow will sustain me for years.
Those faces in his shadow, they're screaming. He's not my mentor. He's a monster.
Akira's patience shattered. His shadow erupted into tentacles, smashing through the study toward Tatsuya. Then the world inverted. The floor vanished, and a void swallowed them. The shadow realm. Sakura didn't hesitate. She lunged toward the closing rift, her hand reaching for Tatsuya. They tumbled into the black, three figures suspended in an endless dark shadows as their only weapons.
Nowhere to run. My shadow is all I have left. This ends with her watching.
In the void, Akira's shadow expanded, no longer a silhouette but a churning catacomb.
See the 1,000 souls I carry. Each one a pirate I devoured to keep this body from dissolving into screaming fragments.
Faces pressed against the dark membrane, mouths open in silent wails, a collective residue of stolen lives.
Without fresh shadows, I become them, a ghost in a suit. Your clean shadow will quiet them for years.
If I fight and win, I absorb him. Then I become this, a prison of screams.
Akira's shadow lunged, tendrils tasting the void, eager to pull Tatsuya's light into the mass.
There has to be a third option. Not eat or be eaten, but break the cycle entirely.
Sakura's voice cut through the void, small but fierce. Don't you dare let him eat you, Tatsuya. Tatsuya's shadow shivered, not with fear, but with the echo of a clean memory, a sunrise before any consumption. The Elder's shadow struck. Tatsuya dodged, but the black tendril grazed his own, and he felt the collective hunger screaming to merge. Akira's shadow tentacles wrapped around Tatsuya's, pulling him toward the abyssal mass.
Tatsuya, don't fight his dark with yours. Use what's still clean in you.
Clean. The sunrise memory. Before I ever devoured a shadow.
He stopped resisting the pull and focused every stolen memory, the navigation, the knots, the lullabies, and pushed them away.
I won't swallow him. I'll flood him with the one thing his hunger can't digest, my humanity.
His shadow brightened, not with devouring hunger, but with a single pure moment, a morning on a calm sea, before his first kill.
What? Your shadow is rejecting the hunger. That light will destabilize me.
The Elder's mass recoiled, but Tatsuya pressed forward, forcing his shadow to merge not as predator, but as a mirror.
You wanted my clean shadow. Take it. Let it wash through every soul you've trapped.
The tendrils faltered, and a crack of blinding white split the darkness. The counterattack had begun. The light spread through Akira's shadow, like dawn through a stained glass window of bones. Faces inside the mass twisted toward the warmth, their silent screams becoming whispers of release.
Stop. You'll dissolve everything I am. The mass cracked, and a soul broke free. A translucent figure ascending.
More followed, wisp after wisp pulling away, their agony bleeding into gratitude.
The trapped are leaving. Keep going, Tatsuya.
Every fragment of light costs me. I am pouring out everything that kept me whole.
His shadow dimmed, the white light flickering as his knees buckled. Sakura lunged to support him.
You are dying, you fool. Stop this and I'll spare her. Just cease.
But Tatsuya pressed his palm forward, and another soul erupted. A young pirate swallowed decades ago, now free. The elder's form began to shrink, his shadow flaking away like old skin. The breach was irreversible. The shadow mass erupted, and a torrent of souls poured upward. Dozens, then hundreds, a silent, luminous exodus.
I remember. A boy who sailed under a blue sky before the hunger. Thank you for ending it.
He smiled, a genuine thing. And then his form dissolved into the light. Every stolen soul finally free. The dark dimensions splintered, ejecting them onto the cold study floor as the shadow real realm collapsed. Tatsuya's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed, his shadow flickering one last time before settling into perfect stillness.
Still alive. Your shadow, it's just a shadow again. No tendrils, no hunger, just you.
His shadow lay on the wooden planks, ordinary and still, no twitch, no hunger. Just a dark echo of a boy.
Did it work? Are they gone?
All of them. You broke the cycle. Tatsuya, rest now.
His shadow didn't answer. It just lay there, clean and still, a final proof that the devourer was gone. She lifted him with a soldier's strength, his head lolling against her shoulder, his shadow trailing limp. The study's walls groaned as the last remnants of the void faded, leaving only pale morning through broken windows.
Did we make it?
Yes, all of it. You are free.
He tried to smile, but his eyes closed again, his breathing shallow as she carried him out. She laid him on a cot in a quiet infirmary room, his shadow stretching under the bed, utterly still.
You broke a 1,000-year nightmare with a sunrise memory, and you almost died to do it.
His shadow didn't stir. No hunger, no memories. It simply existed, as shadows should. She stayed beside him as the morning strengthened, watching for any sign of the devourer's return. There were none. Tatsuya slept, and for the first time his shadow was just a shadow. When Tatsuya woke, the infirmary was quiet. Sakura sat in a chair, her eyes red but dry.
How long?
3 days. I closed the Akira case. The serial killer washed ashore, shadowless, a victim of the Elder.
Tatsuya stared at his own hand, then his shadow. No hidden knowledge stirred. The stolen skills were gone.
The navigation, the knots, the lullaby, all gone. I am just me.
Your shadow is clean. I watched it for 3 days. It doesn't hunger anymore.
Then I am useless again. A one-berry shadow pirate with nothing to show.
You saved 1,000 souls. You broke a cycle that lasted centuries. You are far from useless.
I need to leave. The Marines won't want a pirate, and I don't belong here.
She didn't argue. Outside the window, the sea stretched under a clear sky. They walked together to the docks, the sun low over the water, Tatsuya's shadow trailing behind him, simple and still.
Thank you, Sakura, for not handcuffing me back then, and for believing me when it mattered.
You could stay. I can push for a pardon. The Marines need someone who understands shadows.
I've had enough of shadows. I want to sail with just the wind and the quiet for a while.
She nodded, not pressing. The peace on his face was new.
Then find that quiet. You've earned it.
He turned toward the dock where a small ship waited, its sails furled. His shadow shortened in the light. Sakura watched him walk, her badge heavy, but her conscience clear. As he stepped onto the deck, he looked back once. She raised a hand. And then he was just a silhouette against the morning, his shadow finally nothing more, alone at the bow. Tatsuya let the salt wind fill his lungs. The ship glided over glassy water. Above, a black flag snapped open, a twisted shadow emblem, where a skull should be.
No skull, no crossbones, just a shadow. A reminder of what I almost became.
He worked the ropes with his own hands. No stolen skill, just practice.
I don't need to devour anything. I can learn. I can grow.
The flag snapped once more, its dark shape utterly still against the racing clouds. On the sun-bleached deck, his shadow lay ordinary, a boy's outline. No hunger, no memory. The ship curved south, away from marine waters, away from everything he'd buried. The white wake trailed behind, a clean line on the water, and on the deck, the shadow that once devoured the dead was just a shadow.